Hey everyone, today I want to show you the easiest way to compare two lists in Excel and bring back any missing values. Just like my example here on screen, I've got a whole bunch of employee names in my first list in column A, and then I've got a whole bunch of employees that have completed the training. So I want to compare these two lists, and in column G build a formula that brings back all the people that have not completed the training. So they're in column A, in my list in column A, but they're not in my list in column D. I also want this to be dynamic, so stay to the end and I'll show you how to make this a dynamic formula where you can add and remove names. Just like here, if I delete anything in column D, that list in column G expands with those missing names. So let's get started. I'm going to go through this quickly, so just pause and rewind if you need to. The first part of the function is we need to put an XMATCH function in here. So I'm going to show you how to do this quickly next to that first table before I build that final formula. So equals XMATCH. Now what we're trying to find is the name John Smith, A2, and we're trying to find it in the table of D2 to D8. I'm going to lock those cells, comma again, and I want to find an exact match. So I'm going to put in a 0. Close the brackets and press enter. If I drag that formula down, you can see that a number appears in any of those names that they can find in that second list. And it has an NA or an error that comes up if they can't find it in that list. So what we want to bring back everyone that's an NA or an error into our final formula. So let's just update this XMATCH function and bring back a true whenever it's an error. So is NA, I'll put that at the beginning of the formula. So now we're finding anything that brings back an NA. Go to the end and close the brackets. So now you can see that anything that had an NA now has a true as the value. So let's build this into the final function and show you how easy it is. And don't forget, if you like what you see, please click that like button or subscribe to the channel. So we'll build the formula, which is a filter function. Filter, because we want to filter that original table. The cells of A2 to A16, comma, and then we want to nest in this is NA function with a slight change. So just check this out. Is NA, open bracket, XMATCH, open bracket, and the lookup value originally, you remember we put in A2, but this time we want to see the whole table. We want to do the whole lot. So we're going to put in the range A2 to A16, comma, and we want to find it in the range of D2 to D8, comma, and we want that exact match, so we're going to type in the 0, close all those brackets, and press enter. And now you can see it's brought back that list. But if we add a new name to this list, it doesn't quite make it dynamic. And this is where I wanted you to stay, because if you want to make this dynamic formula, this is what you need to do. So I'm going to bring in a new name. Let's just call it AAAA. And you can see that AAAA didn't actually come into that training not completed list. So to do that, we just need to make these tables, and that would make this whole formula dynamic. So I'm going to highlight that table, go up to insert in the ribbon, and convert it to a table. I'm also going to do that with the second list. I'm going to highlight that list, go up into insert, and create a table. Press OK. And now if I change this formula slightly, so instead of referencing that range, I'm just going to reference the table. So I'll change the A2 to A16 and reference the table. So if I highlight that table, you can see that now the table in employee names comes up. I'll do that again with A2 to A16, highlight that range, and then override that D2 to D8 and highlight the new range. And press enter. And now you can see that new name has appeared, AAAA. So again, if I type in someone else, let's say Matt, you can see that it comes in that list that has training not completed. Again, if I expand the list of training completed and I say now Matt has completed the training, it now automatically disappears off that list. So it's a really handy thing to use, especially when you're comparing two really big lists. Hope you enjoyed this video. See you next time.